Welcome to a Just 10 meditation on Psalms chapter 27, verse 14. Wherever you are, I want you to find a place where you can sit in silence, breathe, be present, and hear what God is speaking specifically to you. Whether that's laying down or being aware with your eyes open as you drive in a car or in a simple seated. Whatever works for you, whether that's child's pose, butterfly, reclined butterfly, find what you need for these 10 minutes. I'm going to read this verse, and I invite you to just inhale and exhale and focus on the word or words that are speaking specifically to you. Psalms chapter 27, verse 14 in the Passion Translation reads, "Here's what I've learned through it all. Don't give up. Don't be impatient. Be entwined as one with the Lord. Be brave and courageous. Never lose hope. Yes, keep on waiting, for He will never disappoint you." I want to read this verse once more. Here's what I've learned through it all. Don't give up. Don't be impatient. Be entwined as one with the Lord. Be brave and courageous. Never lose hope. Yes, keep on waiting, for He will never disappoint you. In this verse, David is speaking of many things. He's writing from a troublesome time. And he's speaking of this trouble that's coming from enemies, from adversaries, from false witnesses, and from violent men. What I like about the Passion Translation is that he sums up this chapter with one verse. If you are familiar with it in the King James Version, it would say, "Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage and wait on Him." David emphasizes this twice for the reader. In the Passion Translation, he says, "Don't give up. Don't be impatient." Here it seems as though David is encouraging us in the season that we're in and where we're seeking God to keep seeking Him, to keep seeking God for the things that we need in the seasons and the time that we are in. Keep trusting God to answer. Don't grow impatient in our seeking God, in our waiting for Him to answer. Sometimes we have to still our minds in our seeking, because as our thoughts grow rampant, they crowd out the voice of God and keep us from hearing what He is truly speaking. I often can know when God has answered or what God's answer will be based on the peace or the division that it causes within me. When there's peace, I can make that decision comfortably. But when there's division, usually it comes with some frustration. It comes with some anger because things aren't going in my way. It comes with some confusion because I can't understand why I can't make this choice. That's division, and that is God saying, "You're separating from me." Here David encourages us to be entwined as one with the Lord. The word entwine means to wind or twist together. And hearing that definition, I immediately think of the three strands that we often hear about when we think of marriage and what's spoken at many weddings. This three-strand cord is interweaved together. It says that when something is entwined, it is closely resembled or linked to each other and is difficult to separate or identify. David is saying, be so close with God that it is difficult to separate you from Him because you are one. I love that this verse encourages us to be brave and courageous, because the reality is sometimes fear makes us believe that we cannot make the decision that God is leading us to make, or we do not have the time to wait on God before we make that decision. Fear can pressure us ahead of the timing of God. But when we wait with courage, we know that God will answer us and give us the wisdom and the discernment that we need. David encourages us to keep on waiting on God. And there's promise connected in this verse because he says that God will never disappoint us. I want to read this verse once more, and then I'll be silent and I'll let you close out this meditation in silence, listening for what God desires to speak specifically to you in the place and season you're in. Psalms 27, verse 14 reads, "Here's what I've learned through it all. Don't give up. Don't be impatient. Be entwined as one with the Lord. Be brave and courageous. Never lose hope. Yes, keep on waiting, for He will never disappoint you." Thank you for joining our Just 10 meditation.